When you direct someone to give you their license and registration, and he says, I just want to let you know I also have a gun which I'm licensed to carry, that makes it much, much, much less likely that he's going for his gun. So this is the nature of probabilistic thinking, which is a research-based strategy to overcome our biases. When you hear that somebody has a gun, there's a tendency, problematic thinking tendency called attention bias. We tend to think about the gun. You know, you have the famous joke when someone says, oh, what does a cow drink? And people tend to say milk. Well, cows don't actually drink milk, they drink water. You might have heard that joke. But when we think, what do cows drink? We associate cows. What's our association with a liquid that has cows? Milk. So the same thing when we hear gun, our association is with scared. It's not, the association is not with, oh, let me think rationally and reasonably that this person will not say he has a gun if he, is trying to reach for it.
Let's go back real quick then. Mm-hmm. What about the color of the skin? What if it was reversed? What if it was a black officer and a white? Do we have that into play?
I definitely think this issue is playing a role, kind of racial profiling. The black man would not have been pulled over if it was not for, it is much less likely that he would have been pulled over for a broken taillight.
It's obvious that a lot of white people look at blacks and they have this bias already, whether they have a gun or not, that there must be something bad.
Yes.
How can we not think that way?
Sure. And there's really actually a quite easy strategy that's hard to apply, it's easy to describe. It's a psychological debiasing strategy. So debiasing strategies in general are a category of strategies that we can use to get away from these biases that we all have. A strategy called de-anchoring that I mentioned. So we all have to automatically give this person more positive points than we intuitively, emotionally think. So when we see a black person, we think, okay, give that person plus 10% points for whatever quality. It's sort of affirmative action in our own minds. So when we see a Muslim person, we have intuitive fears about that Muslim person, give that person 15% more points, to account for the intuitive fears, or whatever percent points you want. But basically de-anchor from your current perspective, which is implicitly biased, very likely to be somewhat implicitly biased. I know I'm implicitly biased. Research shows that we're all implicitly biased to some extent. So de-anchor from that perspective by giving that person more positivity.
So the moral of the story, so to speak, is we just need to get along with people. We got to give them the benefit of the doubt. We have to act as though that person were us. What would we do to help them out, or to, this whole thing with the bias and stuff, we're just tired of, we talk about it, but we've got to find a way to stop this implicit bias and look deep within ourselves.
Yes, so I think the way to stop this implicit bias is, again, an internal affirmative action program, an internal policy of giving that person more credit than we would give a white person. This is really important. Not treat that person as you would treat any person. Treat that person better than you would treat any person. So because of the implicit bias that is buried within ourselves.
You think over time that will correct?
Absolutely. That is the essence of how to deal with these things.